All right, brother. And I think we are good. We are live. What's going on, everybody? I'm here. We are here. Commander Talk, episode 3. Kind of doing a surprise attack on everybody. I'm here with Zack Banks. My name is Justin Thomas from Top Shelf Edits. I'm the editor for Paradox Engine. I am here with the man himself, Zack Banks, the owner, the runner, the mastermind, the guy that actually knows what he's talking about. Zack Banks here for a third episode of Commander Talk. So, Zack, you want to introduce yourself and a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today?
Howdy, y'all. I've been playing Magic for a very long time, since 2010, so 15 years. I play competitively. I also have just moved myself to a non-competitive fashion. I also just found out that 2 of the people that I taught Magic are now going to go to Pro Tour. So that's some excellent news. We are going to talk about Aetherdrift.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been dominating the news cycle. I'm the Joe, he is the pro. I don't know too much about it, but it has been dominating the news cycle. So we're going to jump into that, and we are going to do some breakdowns of some of the cards within it, some of the commanders, and so forth. So you want to jump right into it, Aetherdrift?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So we're going to go to an article. We're going to source all these below. But
yeah,
let's see. Let me get it up.
We finally get to talk about the mistake known as Aetherdrift.
Oh, the mistake. Oh, all right. Let's see. Okay, here we are. All right. So just give your thoughts, brother. Walk us through.
So to start before pricing, Aetherdrift is supposed to be what's known as Old Kaladesh. So if you've ever played Kaladesh, it was a set probably 9-10 years ago, and it was just like this, where it was all about vehicles and artifacts and artificers and getting value out of energy and all that kind of stuff. Because Teferi messed with the timeline, we are now in a plane known as Evishkar.
Gotcha.
So Evishkar, I guess, replaces Kaladesh, which for some odd reason I hate really much, but because Kaladesh is one of my favorite sets. But Chandra Nalar finally returns home. She is now going to participate in a Gearper Grand Prix, which is a multiplanar death race. So this set's pretty much like your everyday Mad Max Fury Road type thing, where it's a bunch of people trying to kill each other in a race.
It's got it. So, you know what I mean? Like it's a little bit Fast and Furious, a little bit Mad Max.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of buzz about this. It sounds like you're not so hype on it. What's your overall excitement level, 1 to
10? As we are moving into a new plane, if this was Kaladesh, I probably would have enjoyed it a little more. And the new mechanics coming out in the set, I really dislike. But with this specific set, I'm gonna say that it's definitely on the lowest part of the list for my favorite sets, and that is a week before it releases, mainly because of like nostalgia reasons. Like when you're walking into a set that is just like a set that you really enjoyed, and they just kind of shift it, it's kind of like Wizards trying to mess with your mind a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't really like that much.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's no shortage of people complaining about Wizards. So it is set at $44 at release, I believe.
So a regular play booster is $5.49 MSRP. Collector boosters are $25, and set bundles are $54. The commander decks are going to be $45 a piece.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. So is that are all sets basically around the same price points when they come out?
Yeah, so what MSRP is, what it is a measured retail price.
Mhm.
So basically, this will be what you see in most stores. I would say that the only place it changes is like the big value stores like Target, Walmart, all that kind of stuff, where they
Mhm.
try to upcharge every card set because they can.
Yes. Because if you're
So
buying from there, you're kind of like you're like me, you might be a noob. Yeah.
yes, for everybody who's watching, please go support your own card stores. Do not buy at Walmart or Target.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
It
So
messes
what
with your wallet and it messes with the local stores.
absolutely. So what is the overall vibe from the community? If you're testing the waters here, is there a lot of hype around this, or is it more so people in line with your perspective here that you're kind of lukewarm at best?
Yeah, so with this particular set, it's more like a filler set. It's not like something that's just gonna burst out and be the set that everybody wants because no, you're not gonna get that.
Gotcha.
We're just going back to a plane where most people it was their favorite plane. Uh, and now that they kind of switched it up and brought a new world to it, um, the people that like Magic for the nostalgia will probably lean away from buying this set.
So they've retconned it, and it's like Star Wars. Like, is it maybe is a metaphor here? Example, that people
Yeah,
don't like it 'cause they've changed it up, and the nostalgia. The people that are that like it are don't like what they've done with it. They've retconned it.
yeah. So this is the comparison of Disney buying out Star Wars.
Gotcha. Which is not good. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, that's the major takeaway. The MSRP went up on this set, so that will also kind of push people out of it.
Hmm.
Um, and there's not really a lot of push cards. Uh, we'll talk about this later, but there's really only one push card, and that will also have people kind of leaning away from the set.
Gotcha. Well, let's jump into the cards. Let's jump into the cards here. Why can companies not do this? Just one last note. Why can they? Because they want to take stuff that they consider safe, which people love, properties people love. They don't want to do anything new, and then they can never stay true to them. They can never make people happy, and it's such a hard thing to do because everybody holds something dear to their heart, and they have a different point of view on it, or consider it to be this way or that way. So it is hard when taking a property that is beloved, but they seem to not be willing to do new things. So it's a double-edged sword there. So let's jump into the commanders here, so we can talk a little bit. Let's talk shop here, and we should be on it. Let me know if I'm
All right.
on the right one here. I should be.
Yeah. So first we got Saheeli Radiant Creator. It's gonna be a colorless green, blue, and red. This is you're gonna be your classic energy deck. Um, she does what artificers do, honestly. So, what she says is, whenever you cast a artificer or artifact spell, you get an energy. So, energy could be used for abilities for any cards that have spend this amount of energy, do this.
Gotcha.
And there's really good commanders in energy already, but this also introduces green to those colors. So this is just going to be mainly, we already have this in white, blue, and red with some of the previous sets, like Modern Horizons 3. But Saheeli's second ability is at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 3 mana or 3 energy. When you do, create a token that's a copy of target permanent you control, except it's a 5/5 artifact creature in addition to its other types, and it has haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, and it's a 4/4. So this puts the previous energy commander from MH3 and adds elements for Mishra, the commander that was released like 2 or 3 years ago. So what Mishra said is on your upkeep, you just get a 4/4 token that is a copy of any permanent you control. And the energy commander that came out in MH3, it said you get an energy when it attacks, but when you pay energy, you could pay. You just immediately get a copy of the creature that's also attacking, but you could pay energy to keep it at your end step. So
Gotcha.
it kind of just puts both cards together.
Okay.
Um,
And this is your star of this deck.
I would say it's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it's an energy deck, so like any good energy cards that have ever been printed before kind of outsteps Saheeli, but Saheeli is a decent commander for the deck. She also has her mom, or Chandra's mom, as a second commander, and she pretty much does the same thing. So there's not really a difference between the two commanders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a plain out energy deck. Not much I could say about it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're an energy deck guy. But this is the latest deck that's coming out. So do you want to? Okay, let's jump over to
The other deck.
Right here, right? Emmett.
Yes. So this is Timid. Timid used to be a white-blue commander, and he also was printed in Hour of Devastation Amonkhet. And he is your everyday zombie commander. Specifically this one. The previous one just said tokens you control gain flying. And you could just make a bunch of creature tokens and start swinging with them. But with this specific commander, it's 2 colorless, white, blue, and black for a 4/4 with Vigilance and Menace. It says whenever it attacks, draw a card, discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So this is a deck that you throw all your zombies in. This is also a very good deck for cycling. So cycling, drawing cards, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that specific commander is probably the best one, but it also comes with a second commander, but it's not all 3 colors. It's just white, black for 1/3. Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2 and a blue. If you do, create a tap token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. So it just grows your army pretty much. This is also something you put Scarab God in. Scarab God is really, really good in this deck. And all of your previous zombie experiences in Hour of Devastation and Amonkhet also go in this deck.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. So you've highlighted some, not necessarily. Well, you've highlighted the best and some of the good. What is the worst commander in this deck?
The worst commanders out of both of them is probably the second commander in Timid, the full art card next to him. Yeah, it's Hashiton, Scarab's Fist.
So why are you picking Hashiton here?
Yeah, so the other commanders do what they do. Saheeli kind of does the same thing as Pianalar. But Timid is the best out of this specific commander deck. And the second commander also has you have to cut a color to, or no, it doesn't because of the mana ability. So actually, it keeps all of its colors, but you lose the value in drawing cards, which I really enjoy in Commander. Like if you have a commander that draws cards, you're going somewhere.
Like a recruiter. Yeah, I do like the Roman the Roman Empire, fan of me here is liking that little eagle. It's kind of like a little bit of a Warhammer feel vibe to it as well. You see the eagle here over on the
Yeah,
side, the standard. Yeah.
uh it might actually be a sphinx.
Oh yeah.
I just
Maybe it
can't
is.
see the
I think
head.
you're right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, but the zombies of Hour of Devastation and Amonkhet praised the Sphinx. I forget his name, but that is something that they did look up towards, like the angelic type of radiance that comes from a Sphinx is kind of
Mhm.
like
It's undeniable.
pleasing to them.
Yeah, it's pleasing to me too. I like a sphinx. You know what I mean? If you were throwing out just things of worship, I think that it's worthy of my worship. Right there. So we got this coming out next week. Uh, I've heard word on the street that it's not looking to sell all that well. Any insight on that? Any predictions on sales?
I think they just threw cards at us,
Yeah,
honestly.
gotcha.
There's nothing really in this set that kind of just peels people's interests. And I could be wrong. There
Mhm.
could be people out here that really support this set,
Yeah,
but realistically, there's nothing in this set other than the uh the Lotus that actually is like a chase card. So
gotcha.
like every card in here is pretty much like it does its thing, and then it kind of is just dull after that.
Gotcha. So not much excitement over all, but we are going to jump into a list right here that comes from one of our favorite sites. And no shame, let us know below if you guys are looking forward to it, and if you disagree and think that these commanders kick ass and Zack is wrong. Let's go to really quick the next article here we have from the Gamer, one of our, again we'll link these below. This is the 10 best reprints in the Living Energy Commander deck, and we're going to go through each of these. Can you see these on screen, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, let us know about your opinions overall about Aetherdrift coming out. There's got to be people that just buy every single new deck, right? Every new set, sorry.
Yeah, so it's just additional cards to add to your collection.
Yeah.
The commander decks that most sell are like the commander decks that come with the commander staple cards
Mhm.
that also come with new commander staples that will be used later on in like competitive play.
Gotcha. So yeah, that might be the reason that they're kind of just throwing cards at you because people are gonna buy them up anyways. So,
Yeah,
um,
pretty much.
how much out of the loop are you? Are you screwed if you don't buy? Like as a noob here, I'm not sure. Like so, like do you got to
So
keep up?
no. So as a new player, you get one precon and you're set for life.
Okay,
So like you just play the one deck until you get bored, and then you build another one, and then you build another one, and then
gotcha.
it's the trap that they put you in, because
Mhm.
once you start playing, then you're gonna start buying more product, and when you buy more product, that's when they kind of like pull you in. They're gonna
Yeah,
be like, "What are you most interested in?" And then they're gonna print that card for you, pretty
gotcha.
much.
Once you pop, you can't stop. And yeah, you're gonna want to build different sets. And so I see. I'm getting into it, folks. So I do see the appeal of it. So but hopefully let's keep them accountable. Let's keep them. Let's not just buy the slop they throw out. Let's hold them to a higher standard. So speaking about standards, we're gonna talk about the 10 best reprints in the opinion of the Gamer here, which is this site I like so far. We've been using it for all of it. This is an article by Sean Murray, is published 2 hours ago. So this is the top 10 in his opinion. So let's just start from the top, not stop from the top, stop from the top. With number
Yeah.
10 here, Chromatic Lantern.
Yep. So Chromatic Lantern is your universal card. So it's pretty much placed into any deck that has more than 3 colors in it. It allows your lands to tap for any mana, so it's immediate mana fixing, and it also taps itself for any color mana. So um, this card usually is played in decks that play other people's stuff that you don't have the colors for. It's also good for anything 3+ colors. So 3, 4, 5 colors, all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. So number 10, you got no problem with this at number 10.
It might be a little higher,
Mhm.
but I kind of like it lower on the list because it's been printed in more than enough commander decks. So
Gotcha.
it's like
Yeah.
not a surprise, it's more like a utility.
Yeah, it makes sense it's in there and it's useful. Yeah, never have mana problems again is the promise. So you heard it first. So number 9 here, Conjurer's Closet, a cool magic trick.
Yeah, so
Coming at number
Conjurer's
9.
Closet goes infinite with a ham sandwich. I like cards that do that. Um, this with a certain card allows you to take infinite turns. It allows you to have infinite blink, like blink effects. So you exile one creature and then you exile another creature, and then you just keep exiling those two creatures to make infinite triggers. This card is probably needs to be higher up the list, but with it being 5 mana, it's kind of hard to cast early game. So it's kind of like a late game resolution type thing.
Gotcha.
This is like the end of the year when you're like, I need to get this done before the end of the year,
Yeah.
and you cast it at midnight on the 1st.
Yeah, this is I'm
So
not messing around anymore. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
so
gotcha.
like your last second resolution is this card.
Yeah, me every deadline. So there we go. Pull out Conjurer's Closet. So number 9, let's go down to number 8, Retrofitter Foundry. Give it enough power and it'll make an army.
Yeah, so this is your tool if you create infinite mana. So like if you find a way to make infinite colorless, infinite blue, you could go ahead and you could generate infinite 4/4s. You could do all that kind of stuff because like it's the weirdest thing ever. Stuff that happens like this. This is why like artifacts like this that untap other artifacts or creatures is kind of why most things go infinite because of their tap abilities. Um, so yeah, just generate infinite mana. This thing goes crazy. Otherwise, this is a very slow type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it probably needs to be off this list.
So
In
not in the
my
top 10. Gotcha.
yeah, so like there, I would probably put cultivate over this card.
Okay. Which does
And
about around the
cultivate
same
isn't
thing.
very good.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So yeah, so slow play here. It says give it enough power and it'll make an army, but not in a timely fashion, evidently. So number 7, Blasphemous Act. The best
Yeah.
solution to a numerical problem. I like it. So blasphemy. Let's at number 7.
So,
Tell us about
so
blasphemy.
this is the cheapest board wipe ever printed.
Gotcha.
So in Commander, this is basically 1 red to wipe the board. And I like this card. It's just not a card that I enjoy being reprinted because it's been reprinted so many times.
Gotcha.
So like any Commander deck that runs red that they print is gonna print Blasphemous Act. So it's not like a genuine, hey, here's a new card, like go ham.
Yeah.
They're just gonna give you the solution every single time, and I guess the solution for red is Blasphemous Act. So
Gotcha. So number 7, it works, but it's nothing new. Number 6, Lightning Greaves. Flashy sneakers make you go faster.
yep. So the booties
Mm-hmm.
is what we call them.
The
So
what? The booties?
yeah, the
Oh,
booties.
booties. The booties, like booties, like boot.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So they come in lightning greaves and swiftfoot boots. So those are the two pairs of booties. And this is your all in all protection card. Anything that this goes like is equipped to Can't be targeted by anything. So it cannot even be targeted by you or your opponents. It kind of just sits there and is protected from everything.
Gotcha. So, yay or nay at number 6 with Lightning Greaves?
I always like a reprint of Lightning Greaves. Like,
Okay.
everybody likes a reprint of Lightning Greaves.
Gotcha.
I
So,
also
yeah.
kind of like the art more than any other Lightning Greaves.
Yeah.
So, like,
Kind of cyberpunk. Like,
yeah.
yeah, kind of cool. I like it. I like the booties. Let's see. Number 5, Druid of Purification. Fair's fair.
Yeah. So, I love this card. This card I put into any deck that I'm running green. It's your tool to make other people like you.
Gotcha.
So like in this scenario, it says, when this creature enters, starting with you, each player chooses an artifact or enchantment you don't control. Destroy each permanent chosen this way. So if there's like 3 or 4 problematic artifacts or enchantments, you already know what you're doing pretty much. You're just gonna play this card for 4 mana and blow something up.
So is this like a politician's card?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
This is the politician. This is a politician card if a politician was printing the card.
Gotcha. Look at me.
Like,
Look at me. I'm learning. The editor's learning. I'm learning a little bit. So there we go. So it sounds like let's see, what is the catcher? Fair's fair. Sounds like a politician. Let's see. Number 4. Oh boy, I don't think I can pronounce that. What are we looking at here?
It's Panharmonicon.
Panharmonicon. Okay.
Yes. So Panharmonicon is the most busted card ever printed in Aether Revolt, Kaladesh, or this set, if you count it with this set. It was actually first printed in Kaladesh, and basically it doubles your enter the battlefield effects. So if an artifact or creature enters, triggering an ability of a permanent you control or itself, it will trigger an additional time. So let's say a creature says whenever a creature enters, draw a card, and it's already on the board, but another creature enters, you'll still draw 2 cards because something is entering and triggering that ability.
Gotcha. I like how it says all who listen hear their own song. Unique melody play. I like the musical aspect of it. I like that a lot. So number 4, definitely a yay for you, if not higher.
Yes.
Gotcha. So number 3, Triplicate Titan, and now I'm seeing triple. What do we know about this?
So in the art, it's a human, an ox, and an eagle. So like it's all 3 in 1.
Yeah, it's your basic animal. So you run of the mill animal right there. See it every day.
Yeah, so this is your basic fantasy animal. So 9 mana for a 9/9 with flying, vigilance, and trample. When it dies, it separates itself. So it becomes 3 different creatures, which is why it's called the Triplicate Titan. So when it dies, it splits into a 3/3 with flying, a 3/3 with vigilance, and a 3/3 with trample. So for 9 mana, you get a 9/9 and 3 3/3s when it dies. So for 9 mana, you're getting a total of 18 power, which is kind of nuts.
So yay on number 3.
I actually want to see this kind of lower down the list because it's been reprinted so many times. It's basically not a surprise.
Gotcha.
But not much farther. Maybe like a 4 or 5.
So useful, but it's been around.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Number 2, Elder
Gargaroth.
All right. Gargaroth, a beast for all occasions. Tell us about a beast for all occasions.
So this is just utility. This is a card that they've thrown in the last couple of commander decks with green in it. It's a cheap cheap cost for what it does. It's 3 and green for a 6/6 with vigilance, reach, and trample. When this creature attacks or blocks, choose one. You could create a 3/3 beast, gain 3 life, or draw a card. Basically, whenever this thing does something it's supposed to, you get some value out of it. So it's
Gotcha.
kind of like a value piece.
Gotcha. So again, it's you know, a little bit of the same with this, you know, it's been around. So number two, you think probably not good at number two, maybe a little bit lower.
Yeah, maybe a little bit lower.
Gotcha. More of the same was the term I was searching for desperately there for some reason. More of the same. There we go. It's been a long day. Sorry. Number one, Academy Runes. You never know what you'll find. So tell us about Academy Runes.
Okay. So Academy Ruins is also a utility card, but it allows you to get your stupid stuff back.
Well,
So like your more busted artifacts that are removed at some point, you could put them on the top of your library and draw it next turn.
gotcha.
Maybe it's a win condition. Like you put a win condition that's an artifact on top of your library or something like that. And it just keeps doing it. So they have to literally exile the card so that you can't bring it back.
Gotcha.
And it's a land. So it's like the best utility you could get.
Okay. Yeah. Always buy real estate, right? So number one, you're cool with this at number one?
I'm cool with this at number one.
There we go. We end on a positive note.
Yeah, so now that I looked at the list further, I probably want number 9 somewhere in the top 3.
Let's look at number 9 again really quick. So that was Conjurer's
The Conjurer's Closet.
Yep. So pretty much in line with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying? Because what? Just cut you off.
Oh, no. You're cool. It's just I really like Conjurer's Closet. In Commander specifically. In any other format, garbage. But for Commander and specific, Conjurer's Closet is one of my favorite cards.
Gotcha. So number 9, a little bit higher. So good list as always. Like I said, I'll be linking these below. I like this website a lot. So good job, Sean. And we are going to be moving on to our third and final topic here. And this is going to be the most valuable Aetherdrift cards you can pull at pre-release, I believe is what we decided to go with. So, and this is by Sigmund Osselfresser. Sorry, butcher your last name there, Sigmund. And this right here is just going to go through some of, in their opinion, in Sigmund's opinion, the most valuable, cards that get a pre-release. So let's start here with these two, right?
Yeah. So the two highlights of this set are both in colorless. Unfortunately, there's not really a lot of hot shot cards that are printed in the set, mainly because Wizards kind of hates us. So for this specific set, the two headliners, if you would call it, is the Aether Spark and the Radiant Lotus. So if you pull a Radiant Lotus in your pre-release kit, good luck to your opponents. Unfortunately, it is the most busted card in the set. The card also adds so much mana that you may be able to cast your whole hand in a turn, and just sacrifice your negligent artifacts that pretty much don't do anything. Ooh, gotcha. Where did I go?
Oop, you should be still there. Are you there? I still see it. You're still on.
I think I lost the link here. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We had to reconnect to the browser really quick, so that might have done it for you. So just take your time. Yeah, we will just go from there. But yeah, I still got you there. So let me know when you reconnect.
Okay, so I'm good now. Okay. So the Radiant Lotus is 6 mana. Tap, sacrifice one or more artifacts. You could sack more than one artifact. Most busted thing ever. And for each artifact, you choose a color and add 3 mana of the chosen color. So that's also really busted. You could sacrifice 9, 10 artifacts and get 30 mana.
Gotcha.
So it's a really decent finisher in Commander. Mainly because there's X cards like Dang, I probably should have thought about this before saying it.
No, I mean, there's other valuable ones. Take your time. You're good. We popped this episode on really quick, so you're good. You are in agreement with these first two though. These headliners, right?
Yeah. So like your Fireball or stuff like that.
Mhm.
Your Torment of Hellfire. Torment of Hellfire was what I was thinking of.
Gotcha.
If you run a mono black artifacts deck, I think his name is Armex. If you run Armex with a mono black deck, you can run the Radiant Lotus, sacrifice all your artifacts to the Radiant Lotus, and cast Torment of Hellfire for 35.
Gotcha.
And like what Torment of Hellfire says is for 35 times, you either have to sacrifice a non-land permanent or lose 3 life. So that is the first thing that popped into my head when I saw the Radiant Lotus was like, I could do a lot of damage with this card.
Gotcha. Something you got a little bit of spark in you now for this this Aetherdrift here. So it's the most excitement I've heard from you. So this Radiant Lotus seems to be a winner here. So let's go down to the creatures that they've got. Some mythic rare creatures, and we've got right here
Ketramos, the Nudon.
Gotcha.
So they have officially reprinted all of the gods, which is like the best thing that they've ever done.
A little bit blasphemous, but is what it is.
Well, it makes me excited.
Yeah.
So like the minimal things that come out of this set excites me because the set is so garbage.
Yeah.
So like all the gods that have ever been reprinted, Hazoret, Bantu, all those gods are coming back. This is actually a new god, I believe. It has a 4/4 with Menace, Lifelink, and Indestructible. It can't attack or block unless you have 7 or more cards in exile. And whenever one or more cards are put into exile from the graveyard and or the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card and you lose a life. So again, this is a commander that pretty much does whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you run cards like anything that exiles your graveyard, exiles opponents' graveyards, anything like that, it just gives you additional value. And you get the ability even if you can't attack or block with it. So you're just continuously drawing cards. And it's one of my 2 or 3 favorite cards in this set.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's saying that it's got some relevance throughout the whole game, and definitely it says it could even be a game ender. So
yes,
it's got to be good. So what do we think here? Moving on to, it's hard for me to read. Hold on.
It's
Bright
Glass Gearhulk.
Yep.
I think the mana value of this card is too steep. I would probably want to see this card at colorless green, white instead of green, white. But for this specific card, it's utility.
Yeah.
So you could probably play this somewhere in CDH or regular commander, but it only really searches for your low mana stuff, like your Esper Sentinels, your Soul Rings, your Mana Crypts, all that kind of stuff. Well, Mana Crypt is banned, sorry. So like your Mana Vaults or something like that.
Gotcha. So it's saying it's currently pre-selling $10 to $12.
I could see that probably staying the same.
Okay.
Even mainly because it is the full art print instead of the border, or this is the borderless print. Sorry.
Yep.
So there's
Borderless graffiti giant art. Yeah, it is a nice looking card.
Yeah.
So $9 to $12. Let's see. Then we got. Sorry, there's just a coloring on this. Sab. No, you're fine. Sab, Sun and Luxa embodied.
Yeah, so this is also a new god.
Sorry.
For those
No,
of you that are a fan of frogs,
there you go.
you
Frog
finally
people.
got a god. You finally did it. You got a god. So so
Congratulations.
it's 3 green blue for a 6/6 with reach, trample, and indestructible. Can't attack or block unless you have an even number of counters on it. So weirdest thing ever. But there's cards in this set. Well, all the gods have a reason to attack or block with this certain ability.
Gotcha.
So with this one, it's kind of strange because at the beginning of your first main phase, you put a counter on it.
Mm.
And if you have an odd amount of counters on it, you draw 2 cards. So this is not only utility in attacking, this is probably the best attacker I've ever seen printed in a standard set. Not only that, it's also a powerful draw effect. So every turn that it's not attacking, you're drawing 2 cards, which is insane to me.
That's how these frogs roll, man.
Yeah, it's good. So I recommend this card to probably anybody that plays green and blue. Not for CDH though, but anybody that's like playing any green variety of green and blue that isn't in competitive, you could probably play this card and get away with it.
Gotcha. And it's pre-selling within the $10 range. So
yeah, and it's a pretty good one. I see it probably going up.
Gotcha. Frogs on the rise. You heard it first. The enemy Verge cycle. We're gonna be looking at these cards right down here. So it's giving me. I don't think I can go any further. So we have Bleachbone Verge, and then River Pyre Verge, and then Sun Billow Verge. So tell me about. I'm confused about these. What are these? Sorry.
Okay, so these are your dual lands.
Okay.
So each set comes with a pair of or a 5 dual lands, and they come in enemy and allied form. So your enemy colors is what you see on the screen right now, and your allied forms are the other 2 color pairs.
Okay.
So your blue and white, or your red and green, and all that kind of stuff. Those are the allied colors. But for these specifically, these I think are reprints of other cards, but have different names. So these cards have already been in standard before. And it's actually kind of awkward how they work because you have to have activate if you control a plains or a swamp. Okay, so never mind. They kind of act as like a check land, but in like a weird shape or form.
Gotcha.
And they immediately come in untapped, so that's also good. These are probably going to be the most played in Commander.
Probably. I don't need the formats.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused on the lands, but I think you've cleared it up for me there. Yeah, I didn't. For some reason, I can't get any closer in on these lands. They're not letting me. Not letting me get a look at this real estate, man. Let me take a look at the real estate. So let's see. We've got some honorable mentions. We've got March of the World Ooze. So what is this all about? Tell me about it.
Okay, so I don't personally like this card. It's almost pretty much useless, but it's 6 mana and it makes every creature on the board or on your board a 6/6 ooze in addition to their other types. So like you make your smaller stuff bigger, kind of buff them up to a 6/6, and then hopefully force your opponent to die while attacking. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, create a 3/3 elephant. So this is basically your counter to your weird, very weird counter to like blue players. So like the blue and white players that cast stuff on other people's turns, this is like a weird counter to it.
What do you mean by weird? It's just unorthodox.
Well, there's cards that say your creatures can't be countered. There's also creatures that say your creatures have hexproof and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
This is just giving you value if they're casting stuff on your turn. And it's not a lot of value per se, but it gives enough value so that you could probably compete with them in some sort of way. I actually think this card is the weirdest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, interesting. There we go. Let's give it an award. I'll put up a graphic in the edit. We will do a graphic, special graphic for that. Congratulations, March of the World Ooze. So yeah, it's $7 to $8 for its pre-selling range, and they're saying they can immediately see it hitting sideboards against those pesky decks that play 4 copies of Hopeless Nightmare. What does it mean, sideboards?
So sideboard is 60 card deck related. It's not related to Commander in any way, shape, or form.
Gotcha.
But every 60 card deck, you could build a sideboard, a 15 card sideboard. And each one of those, each match is a best of 3. So after the first match, you could sideboard in cards from your sideboard. Gotcha. To help you against certain decks.
Gotcha. So moving on here with our honorable mentions, we have Monument to Endurance, an artifact. Tell us about it.
I actually like this card.
Gotcha. I like
which is surprising because I didn't see this card at all in the previews.
Mm-hmm.
But when you discard a card, it doesn't matter which way you discard a card. It could be discard a card for value, and then you get additional value, or an opponent plays a card that forces you to discard a card. You get a value off of that. This card specifically, I think, is built for cycling. So if you're building a deck with cycling in it, this card is really good because you could discard a card for the cycle cost. You draw off the cycle, and then if you wanted to, you could also draw off the monument. So it's just additional card draw, gotcha. Basically. I don't think you'll ever look at somebody and say they're gonna create a treasure. Mm-hmm. I think this could also be used as a win condition. So like where it says each opponent loses 3 life. For cycling decks, they can cycle for free. So they just keep cycling and dealing 3 damage to you. So if they cycle 10 times, they're dealing 30 damage to you.
Oh yeah, I've seen out of the few games I've watched in to completion. I've seen somewhat of that happening. I've seen somebody do the cycle so that there's it infinitely cycles, and that's how they won the game actually.
Yeah,
one of the recent ones. So I like the art really quick here. It's like a brutalist feel architecture. It reminds me of Dune. I'm a big fan of Dune. So these buildings remind me of like Dune and the brutalist kind of like a sci-fi trope for the architecture and all that. So very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then do they got anything at the end? So let's just read it. The list goes on, but gives you a feel for the most noteworthy and valuable cards open from Aetherdrift booster packs in the coming weeks. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for a new set to draft. Even if Aetherdrift flavor isn't exactly for me, the author says, Sigmund, remember. As long as gameplay is fun, I'll be happy. Don't forget, you are the type to crack open collector boosters. You have more value to unlock with most modern day sets. There are plenty of special printing, factured foil versions of cards upward 200. So that's just their final thoughts on it. Thank you, Sigmund, for your article. Do you agree with these values? Do you think he's highlighted the right ones here? What's your overall take on the most valuable Aetherdrift cards that you can pull at pre-release from good old Sigmund here, who seems like a good guy, by the way? I like you, Sigmund. I'm gonna follow you on X.
Yeah, specifically if you get the Radiant Lotus or any of the gods, you're pretty much quote unquote winning the tournament. Mm-hmm. If nobody has an answer for them, and the only form of answer you could possibly get is probably exile, which looking at the set, I don't think there's a lot of, unless I completely missed it. But the gods with indestructible, they give you plenty of value, so you could probably win every game against your opponents in a pre-release.
Awesome. So we'll start wrapping it up here. So it releases next week, correct? And how often are we getting releases?
We probably get a release for a new standard set probably every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much every month some sort of Magic product is coming out. And Wizards is the pull gods to win. Got it. LOL. Thank you, my guy. Yes, the gods are pretty much the most broken thing in the draft format right now. Mainly because I didn't really see a lot of exile. I see a lot of destroy. Like I'm looking on Mythic Spoiler right now. I'm looking in white, and all it says is give your creatures indestructible, drawing some cards, scrying, making creatures. There is nothing in this format. Okay, so there's one card and it's worth 5 mana. So realistically, on turn 5, you should be able to kill somebody with a god. There should be no reason that this card is ever played against you. You should already be obliterating them. But yeah, so pull a god or pull the Lotus, you pretty much win your draft format or your sealed format. But to end this off, what was the question we were answering? Because somebody commented.
No, and thank you for the comment. Don't throw us off by coming into the live stream. What are you doing? No, I'm joking. Yeah, thanks for coming over. God, throwing things at us in the live. We got to do this in private, man. No, thank you for the comment. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, brother. No, I was just talking about what do we have to look forward to after this, and because I was asking the frequency of the release. Like how often do we get them and so forth, and like what I was just going to end it with a question of what are you looking for if you could have, if it was Zack's special day, Zack's perfect special day, and he could have whatever he wanted, and you get to, the next release, what would you hope for? Because you're not crapping on this. I'm trying to keep my language clean, so I probably sound ridiculous. You're not pooping on it, but you're not all excited. You're not as excited as I've seen you before for other stuff. So just from working with you on this. So again, we're not crapping on this, but you're not so excited. So if you could have anything you wanted for the next release, what would it look like vaguely?
Well, unfortunately, we already know the rest of the releases for the year. So okay. I'm not going to get what I want this year. But what I realistically want out of everything in the world is to go back to Amonkhet.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to where all the big zombies are, where the gods were, all that kind of stuff. I also want to see what happened after the devastation of Amonkhet. Whether they make it new, just like this set, mm-hmm. where we no longer have Kaladesh, but we have the new one. Let me go back and refer to this because I don't want to be wrong. Avishkar, which for some reason that exists now. But if there was a
Disney, joking, Wizards of the Coast, Disney, sorry.
He commented Avishkar with like a smiley face, but Avishkar is Kaladesh before, God, what's his name?
Avishkar. A fishy. He's helping me out probably with my vernacular here, so my verbiage. So yeah, I'll probably mispronouncing a lot. A fish car happened to me a lot with the West.
Yeah, this is what happens when Teferi messes with the timeline again.
Yeah, but multiverse.
But it would be really cool to go back to Amonkhet or Hour of Devastation. It was my favorite standard. It's back when I was playing competitive. It was one of the funner sets for me. The other fun set that I had was Kaladesh and Aether Revolt, which unfortunately we no longer have. But but with that, if we have a release of those new sets, I would be very happy. I would be
So
the happiest man on earth.
back when where the big zombies are, you said, back where the gods, back where you just said like a great like catastrophe just happened, right? So you'd like to see the aftermath.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
back when we were in Amonkhet, the devastation happened where Nico Bolas and his evil gods, the Scarab God, the Locust God, and the
They sound like fine
this
gods to me.
and the
So,
Scorpion God.
oh god, yeah.
Um, yeah, so all three of the gods in Nico Bolas, and I don't know if Lily was involved. I don't know far into the backstory, but the evil villains pretty much just destroyed everything.
Interesting.
And there are some people that survived, so I kind of want to see the aftermath of what happened.
Yeah, the rebuilding of the civilization, the fallen empire. I think that's cool. As the editor of this channel, I think it'd be cool to eventually do, and I don't know, let us know in the comments, to do like lore videos about the storyline that you're like talking about, the story threads, you know, to do like lore videos that like, because I find this stuff fascinating. I didn't know they had such like in-depth you know, lore for these sets. Like you're excited, like with the Aetherdrift, like how you're explaining that this follows like essentially a character, right? Like, and like this is
Yeah, so this is the story of Chandra just pretty much in a death race,
Mad Max in it
and
up.
it's just Mad Max with Chandra in it.
Yeah, but that's cool. We could do some. We could. You could. You know, we could do some lore videos of. I don't know. You know, you're the actual. I'm just editor. So maybe down the line. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. That the storyteller in me finds that fascinating. So and that's what I think is pretty cool about Magic. So like I said, I'm getting that the precon Caesar deck that we I'm ordering that when we looked at the last time. So slowly but
Oh,
surely I will be learning. So.
you're ordering Kaiser.
Yes, Kaisar. So yes, so that I'm looking forward
Dang,
to it.
you
Yeah,
kind of splashed a lot of money on that. I think the Dex is like $100 right now.
yeah, that's why I said I'm ordering it, not I have ordered it. So I've decided on it, and so yeah, it's but it's one that speaks to me, brother. So you know, and plus I still got my job for now, right, Zach? So I can afford it. We're good, we're good. So no, I want to thank you, Zach. Not just my boss, but my friend, and I always find these interesting. Thank you to the wonderful authors, and we always give credit to people like Sigmund and let me pull back up the I think it's the gamer. Is that the website that we? Yeah, the game. I really like this website, to be honest with you. To Sean as well. So we will of course give credit, and we will be breaking this up into segments. People seem to like it, so this is just us spitballing. We did this one off the cuff even more than usual, and we're going to try to get back in the studio and do another recording soon to get more content to you. Zach is doing his best. I am doing my best. And anything you want to say to everybody before we go here?
Nothing much. Just thank y'all for your support, and specifically for the people that commented. Not only in this video but the previous videos, the engagement is very good for us. So I really enjoy that you guys are engaged with us as I'm trying to teach somebody that's brand new to the game.
Who?
And kind of giving him the knowledge he needs to continue. Awesome
Yeah.
sauce. Thanks for the episode.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, thank you for watching, bro. Like honestly, that's what keeps us going is you guys.
Yeah, we want to try to get a standard time again. We're because like these mostly are for us to then take for me to go and then cut up, and but we do them live in the hopes that we will eventually build a audience and people will start watching live, not just after, and then we can really like, you know, start going into if say you had an article next time that you wanted us to pull up on the spot, we wouldn't trust us. We just pick these right before we go on anyway. So you know, Zach wouldn't be against checking it out and looking at it. So these questions are organic. I truly am asking what this is. I'm confused about those lands. Like, I don't know. I'm legitimately confused. So Zach's breaking it down for me. I think we get some good information out of that and good perspective. Again, it's all subjective a lot of the times and stuff like that. So leave if you agree, disagree, obviously in a mature and kind fashion as we try to be ourselves. And I think Zach is just it's full of great knowledge on this stuff. So I always find it fascinating, and I'm just getting my feet wet. And we hope that you guys will be on this journey with us. So as we rebuild the channel. So Zach, I want to thank you again. Everybody like and subscribe. This is episode 3 of MTG Commander Talk, and we will be back with an episode 4 within a week or so. So you'll see these chopped up and so forth. So be safe, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you soon.
Later, y'all.